Have you ever tried rigging a bird but found it difficult, or you just don't have the money to buy an add-on that will make your work easier? In this video, I will show you how I rig this bird in Blender without using any add-on. This rig can be used in your game, animation, or even VFX. I created this bird using Meshy.ai, an amazing 3D content creation tool that has helped me to create complex 3D models very fast. My reference images are also AI generated. The first thing I did was to separate the mouth of the bird, since the mesh was already bounded together and I wanted it to be able to open using the rig. I achieved this by deleting a selection of the faces at the points that I wanted the mouth to open and readjusted the lower and upper part of the mouth to come together again. One problem I noticed about the mesh is that it had a lot of broken parts. I solved this by selecting two vertices and merging them at the center. I created the eye with one sphere and gave it two materials for both the white and the black part of the eyes, then duplicated it to create the second eye. Now it's time to rig. Add a single bone and move it to the center of the model. Enter into the edit mode and adjust it to fit the body. Still in the edit mode, extrude the bone to form the tail bones. Select the first tail bone and parent it to the first root bone using the keep offset. This will ensure that the root bone controls its movement. Then go on to add the head and neck bones. Also parent it to the root bone in the center. Add the beak or mouth bones that will control the opening and closing of the mouth. But this time, parent it to the head bone using the keep offset. This will enable it to move with the head. Next, add the bones for one side of the wings and make sure you add bones based on how much control you want to have on the mesh. Make sure you create the bones close to the wing mesh. Select the wing rig, duplicate it, and rotate it to form the rig of the second wings. Remember to parent it again to the root bones. Do the same thing for the bones of the leg and do your best to match the bones to the mesh. Add a single bone to the center of the eye. This will be used to move the eye and keep it controlled by the rig. Now try to parent the bird mesh to the rig using Ctrl P and select Armature Deform with automatic weight. This might not work depending on your model. Basically, try out the three options under Armature Deform to know which one will work best for you. In my case, this did not work. It only created a vertex group for each bone on my mesh. This meant that I had to weight paint the mesh to assign it to the bones that will control each part of the mesh. Select the bone and turn on the names so that you can see the bone that you are working with at each point. Select the mesh and go into the weight paint mode. Select the bone vertex group you want to use to control a part of the bird and start to paint. The blue color means that the selected vertex does not control that part, but the red color means that it controls it completely. Any other color means it is partially controlling it. Repeat the process of selecting, painting, and testing the bone control by moving the bone in pose mode to see how much it controls. This process took me about 4 hours to complete, coupled with the correction I had to do whenever I mistakenly painted a mesh in another part of the bird. After weight painting, I discovered some issues where some bones were controlling undesirable parts of the mesh, and then resolved it using the edit mode. In edit mode, you can still select the vertex group and then select the part of the mesh you want to stop controlling and click on remove. Then select the part you want to control and click on assign. And that's a summary of how to rig a bed in Blender. Check out how I use Meshy.ai to create high quality 3D models. Links in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss my next amazing video. See you in the next video.